Superhero fatigue. It's a real laugh. I saw 3 movies in the month of July, and yes, they were the big ones: Jurassic Park, Superman, and Fantastic Four. The release order is the order in which they get better. So yes, Fantastic Four is my movie of the month. I actually want to use this month to, be a Marvel shill for a minute. It's been a while, but also, and more so, just to kind of step back and think about where we are right now. Just to smell the roses right now. With the more time that passes, and the more those past horrible projects on Marvel start to feel more like potholes in the road that at the time felt like canyons we were living in. I look at where we are right now and I think, how many times can we say Marvel are back without just saying we're existing and things are just how they were? Because both films made after this era of quantity over quality have been decent. They've had those base levels of competence and care that was just missing. Don't get me wrong, there will be misses in the future, the near future even, but that's not the point. You can have misses sprinkled in there with the hits, but we was having the reverse. I gave Thunderbolts 4 stars, I gave Superman 4 stars, I gave Brand New Day 5 stars. Oh shit, it's not even out yet. But this is the level of confidence instilled back in me. Kevin Feige may not always get it right creatively, but if not anything else, that man is a grade A people pleaser. And you could do far worse with a guy in the position that he's in. His quote for Spider-Man Brand New Day saying, I think there's a promise at the end of No Way Home that for as sad as it is that Peter is forgotten by everyone in his life, we're seeing for the first time in the Tom Holland Spider-Man stories him being a proper Spider-Man, him being by himself, dedicated to saving the city and dealing with, for lack of a better term, street level crime, as opposed to world-ending events that he faced when working with the other characters. I mean, as much as that is a fist bump quote, it's also such an obvious telling of a guy who reads Twitter. It's so like he's hitting all the marks here, the ticks, he's saying the street level crime, the proper Spider-Man, he's like, pull it all in there, and I'm here for it. I don't love fan casting and things like that, but it's refreshing to know that a lot of people who make these films do actually care about these films and these characters. And money, sure, they also care about money, but to know that also at the same time money and quality are not mutually exclusive things, and they can still turn that massive ship that was heading towards an iceberg and deliver something that's going to keep everyone with smiles on their faces. And this is me saying that whilst also understanding that the Thunderbolts was good and was shot on location. They put that effort in and it bombed. It bombed, and I don't think Fantastic Four is set in the world like either. Whereas dog shit like Thor Love and Thunder and Multiverse of Madness, it kind of did at the box office. I hope they realize that money all came from the good work they did prior to those films coming out, the characters they set up prior to those films coming out, and that Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four maybe aren't making as much because of the dog shit that came before them, the lack of setup that came before them, a lack of quality before it, a lack of trust therefore after it, and that's going to take time to work back up to. And if they can't see how long term it's an improvement, that each film isn't setting a new record for lowest ever Rotten Tomatoes score, then I wouldn't know what to say at that point. And I do believe that Fantastic Four First Steps had everything that these prior two phases for the most part just didn't have. Cohesion, vision, not that one, care. And that's all whilst being not a perfect movie, multiple scenes chopped to keep it under 2 hours for the Marvel machine, and still kind of having classic third act problems in my opinion. I screamed this in the Thunderbolts video, I'll say it a little bit more quieter now. It's not necessary for perfection, I just think it's necessary that you're striving for it at least. And I'm glad to say with these last two films, at least it feels like Marvel is now back to aiming for the moon. And then on the flip side, DC is setting up something very exciting as well, starting off with Superman, which I think probably has some of the highest highs of any superhero film this year. Maybe this is unpopular, but I actually think the restraint to not go out and already go against your whole plan at the very beginning and get Robert Pattinson in because of some Twitter edits that are good is a good idea. Yes, we love both of those characters. Yeah, they both oppose each other in really satisfying ways. The yin and yang of it all. You understand that James Gunn's DCU can still have and create that dichotomy without having to use Robert Pattinson's Batman and just using the Batman they already had prepared within their plans. They can still do that. They can still have those, what's the word? Juxtapositions. It just feels good to be excited again. The Thunderbolts was good, its post-credit scene excited me for Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four was good, its post-credit scene excited me for more stuff in the future. I mean, Spider-Man I'd be looking forward to anyway. People are just down bad for his character. I mean, they released 3 frames of the new suit today and people, every other tweet, full caps, raised webbing. Okay, there is hype again. You're not excited about the hype. Daredevil season 2, the Punisher thing, X-Men and Blade. I mean, everyone's been sort of clowning the whole time it's been taking them to get this Blade movie off the ground. It's probably for the best that they haven't, and they're going to be releasing it in a more successful era than the one prior. Same with X-Men, you could say. You know what, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be brave enough to say it. Even Doomsday. I'm excited for it, because as much of a mess as that film surely is going to be, they have also kind of set up something so ludicrous, but also kind of so interesting that I'm just desperate to see it on screen and just see how it plays out. And if it can in any way be pulled off, and go on, fuck it, I'm also excited for Wonder Man. chuck that in there. So basically this was Glaze, and I don't even care. I'm not ashamed of it. And you know what? I suddenly don't feel so fatigued at all. On screen is my Letterboxd score and review for Fantastic Four First Steps. And with that, I'll see you at the end of August.